Hello, you guys. I am doing this video because I have been disappearing on you guys, my pretty faithful people who seem to be watching my videos, and I haven't been doing as many lately. I've been really practicing this, practicing creating the best reality in every given moment of my life. And I have somebody in town who I've been spending some time with, and she's sort of like a mom to me. And I got to thinking about the idea of transference, and Freud. Freud got a really bad rap in the psychological community, and I took this course that I just found Freud to be just so amazing. I mean, he really went out on a limb, and he taught us so much. Like, he taught us about how most of what's going on is under the surface, and then you've got um, this little like iceberg of um, of our consciousness, and then you've got like this huge portion of our lives, our thoughts, our behaviors, and everything that is like under the surface, the subconscious. That came from Freud. And he talked about this idea of transference. He talked about um, when patients would come into his office and they would, um, this person would become like a pseudo mother, a pseudo brother, a pseudo lover, whatever, this person was seemingly needing in the given moment. And I've given that a lot of thought, and if it is indeed a bad thing, if transference is like indeed a bad thing, like, for example, I've talked about in previous videos this idea that if a child has one caring, loving, supportive caregiver, they will be doing a lot better in life. Even one that's not necessarily a biological parent or biological family members. So, like children, some children who are in foster care are in much better situations than they would be if they were living with their biological parent. And so they're transferring their they're learning to trust somebody who isn't necessarily genetically linked to them. So, what's been coming up for me today is something that I think is super interesting. So, I had spent some time with someone today, and and spent some time with them and their child, and I was listening, and I was thinking about how we do this with our children, that we we basically tell them what they can and cannot do, kind of like this control over what they are and aren't going to do. And I got to thinking about how much I really really don't like it when somebody tells me like what I can and can't do. Like on my free time, like, you know, um, somebody just telling me what to do and having that expectation that I'm going to do what they want me to do. And how much I really really dislike that. I'm, and this isn't necessarily having to do with them. Like, it's one thing for me to ask, is there a way that I could change what I'm doing that would, you know, bring about more joy in your life? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about full stop. You shouldn't be eating that. You shouldn't be doing that. This is a better use of your time. Like, they have the idea that this is a better thing for you to be doing than what they themselves are wanting to be doing it at any given moment. And I started thinking about this in a broader sense of just loving people. Just loving people, whether it be loving them romantically, loving them as our children, loving like the people that work around us. Um, but I'm going to talk like right now about like romantic partnerships. So, you know, I'm really really into freedom, and I'm not talking about like freedom to like hurt people or freedom um, to romp all over our feelings and things like that. That's not what I'm talking about. But it sort of is this the freedom to do what another person wants to do in every given moment of their life. They have the freedom to do what they want to do. So, does their freedom to do what they want to do coincide with what I like to do? so, so I've been thinking about this. And so, in trying to like have a partnership with somebody else, like if we're wanting a romantic partnership with somebody, and I've been talking about this in previous videos and previous podcasts, that I'm starting to wonder like about myself and my habits, because I have some very very strong habits that I enjoy that really really are very good for me, like hiking and eating a certain way and meditating and I really really like these habits, and they help me in my life. They help me immensely to live what I perceive to be the best life. And finding somebody else or attracting somebody else into my life who would enjoy those activities. Like what happens when this person doesn't enjoy hiking, or they don't enjoy it? Like, why do you meditate? Or, you know, why do you eat that way? And so basically what I'm thinking about is really trying to attract people and join partnerships with people who share the most of these bullet points of shared activities. Like, I think that it's really significant, because I don't really want someone else to change the way that they are. I don't. I want them to have the freedom to be who they are, do what they want to do in every given moment. And it could be that our values don't match up, or the way we want to spend our time, our freedoms don't really match up. And being cognizant of that, and honoring that, and also moving on from it. Moving on from it, and stay instead of staying in like relationships for years with people that, you know, they're just their habits just don't add up. We don't enjoy the same things. We don't have the same life view. Accepting it, looking at it, and possibly separating and moving on. It just seems to me that the only love worth really having is based on freedom. And I think that freedom also includes freedom to actually stay with that person. The freedom to choose that person day after day after day. You know, even on the days when they're not feeling so good or feeling so great. But anyway, these are just thoughts going through my head. Wanted to do a check-in with you guys. I'm still here, haven't fallen off the face of the earth. I've just been doing my occupation and podcasts, and attempting to write, and trying to learn to like really enjoy life. Anyway, love is freedom. I'll be back.